Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Well, it's continuing on. It seems like we're doing way too many of these lately, and our heroes, our favorite rock stars from yesteryear and today, seem to be leaving us at an alarming rate here in 2021. We've just lost zztop bass and vocal legend Joseph Michael Dusty Hill. Dusty Hill, as he's known to all of us all these years as part of the classic trio known as zztop, the longest running lineup in the history of rock and roll. 50 years here in 2021. Their first album came out in 1971. zztop's first album. You can see that here's all the classic albums from zztop's first album all the way through to Recycler. We got other stuff here to show you, but born May 19th, 1949. He leaves us here July 28th, 2021, of reasons undisclosed at this time. So he's had some issues. He's had some hip problems in recent years. I believe he had a hip replacement or something like that. He had some trouble on the road because they're out on tour. He had to sit out a couple shows recently, I think, to get that hip looked at again. They had a replacement fill-in for him for a couple of gigs, but from all accounts, he was probably ready to go. However, unexpectedly, he leaves us here today. Pretty sad news. Pretty sad news. A mainstay in a lineup that has been one of the most endearing bands, that little band from Texas, for so many years, for so many people. Also one of those bands whose music has transcended genres. I mean, it's very uncommon that you find someone who's a rock fan who's been listening to rock and roll music since the late 60s or the 70s who doesn't count zztop among one of those bands that, they have the warm spot for, get the warm and fuzzies for. And it's because, the three guys, larger-than-life guys. You got Frank Beard on the drums, the only guy without the big, long beard, right? The sunglasses on, just back there, always keeping the beat. And then you got those two dudes out in front, Billy Gibbons on guitars and vocals, and Dusty Hill on bass and vocals. Both have very distinct vocal styles. They both got that little gravelly Texas thing going. But Dusty had the more gruff kind of vocals. Billy has more of the kind of the sweeter sounding vocals, although, like I said, in their later ages, obviously they sound a little more similar than they used to. But man, that big fat bottom end, this huge bass riffs always. I mean, there's just something to be said about the thump and grind and bump of zztop's music all these years. I mean, so many classic albums. You got all the 70s stuff even before the band really broke big, huge in the early 80s with Eliminator, Afterburner, and Recycler, especially Eliminator. That was a huge album for them. I mean, zztop's first album, such great bluesy hard rock, great guitar work. Like I said, enormous bass tones. Somebody Else Been Shaking Your Tree, Brown Sugar, Going Down to Mexico, Neighbor Neighbor, Old Man, Squank, Certified Blues, Bedroom Thing, Just Got Back from Babies, Backdoor Love Affair, Rio Grande Mud, Francine, Just Got Paid, Cocoa Blue, Chevrolet, Apologies to Pearly, Barbecue, Whiskey and Mama, Trace Hombres, one of my favorite albums from the early 70s, Waiting for the Bus, Jesus Just Left Chicago, Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers, Master of Sparks, Move Me On Down the Line, Hot Blue and Righteous, Precious and Grace, LaGrange, Chic, Have You Heard? It gets better, man. Fandango, Thunderbird, GL's House Rock, Nasty Dogs and Funky Kings, Blue Jean Blues. So many great songs. Tejas, DeGuello, right? I Thank You, She Loves My Automobile, I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide, Manic Mechanic, Cheap Sunglasses, El Loco, Eliminator, Give Me All Your Lovin', right? Got Me Under Pressure, Sharp Dressed Man, Legs, TV Dinners. Just so many classic songs that, again, just there's the formula that always worked. There's something to be said about, Rush is another perfect example of having a lineup that stays the same decade after decade, album after album, that people can identify with and fans tend to stay loyal with. zztop is another perfect example of that. Even some of the latter period albums, Antenna, La Futura. You know the guys. You know the quality you're going to get. Rhythmine, one of the best albums they put out in the latter period. And, supposedly there's another ZZ Top album that's been recorded, so I guess we're going to get that post his passing. Mescalero, Triple X. How about some of the live stuff? Live from Texas, right? Tonight at Midnight, greatest hits from around the world. Live in Germany, 1980. It's terrific live album. Unfortunately, we didn't get like a classic, like mid-late 70s live album from these guys, which very surprising. We got the one half of this album right here, right? Of Fandango. It's kind of small right there. Half of that is live, half of the studio. But, why did we never get that classic live album from them from like 76 or 77 like everybody else was doing? Don't know. But this Live in Germany album from 1980 is, if you want one from early in the career, you can get boots and stuff out there. But if you want to get an official release, which came out much, much later on Eagle Rock Records, this is definitely as close as you're going to get to that classic period. Great stuff on here as well. I'm going to be playing this while I'm cooking dinner tonight for sure. But yeah, man, just a tragic loss. Granted, he, of the ones that we've lost lately, like Joey from Slipknot and Mike Howe from Metal Church and, John Lawton from Uriah Heep and Lucifer's Friend recently. And there's just so many of them that have just been stacking up lately. Dusty was 72, so he lived a fairly long life. But still, I think we were all not prepared. None of us were prepared for the ZZ Top train. Those three guys to stop rolling, and what this means for the rest of the band, I don't know. Of course, ZZ Top is out on tour. I just bought tickets to see them at the end of September. I think some of the things I've read so far is that they will continue, and perhaps with that bass player who filled in for Dusty recently, but I don't know. And beyond this tour, will this be the end of ZZ Top? I guess time will tell. Time will tell. But man, there's something about these three guys, iconic, that will forever be remembered and loved by all of us. And now, we've got one of them is no longer with us. So Joseph Michael Dusty Hill, born May 19th, 1949, Dallas, Texas, leaves us on July 28th, 2021 at the age of 72 in Houston, Texas. Dusty, man, we'll miss you. You were one of the greats and one of the most underrated and iconic of those heavy bottom guys, the rhythm guys. You will forever be missed, but your music will live on in the music of ZZ Top forevermore. Thank you for everything you've given us, Dusty Hill. We love you. He's up there jamming with the greats. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Everybody, please crank out your ZZ Top albums tonight in memory of the late, great Dusty Hill. I know I will be doing the same. So thanks for watching, everybody. God, I hope I don't have to do one of these anytime soon, because this is getting ridiculous. Stop taking all of our rock stars from us, please. Thanks for watching. I am Pete Pardo. Take care.